So, hello and welcome back to our Holland game. This, I promise, is the final episode here. The final dice have fallen and I'm gonna show you in a second what's going to happen. So last night I played, and if you were there or caught it afterwards, I was sort of giving up, right? And then I had some thoughts, and overnight I sort of formulated a plan. I played some this morning, and we had this bug yesterday where we couldn't piece out properly because it wouldn't do the piece deal. Then I sort of thought, if I just managed to take the city here, which was their new capital at the time, my war score would go like up to 100, which it did, and we captured that city. And it had quite a few wonders, even more than in the actual capital in Cusco here. So he capitulated to us, and I also thought that he would sort of attack Askia for me. He did do that in the beginning, but since then he actually lost the city here. So after that we turned our whole army around. We declared on Theodora, and it was just an almighty scramble here. Using my tanks to good effect here and bringing my fleet over and sort of making fairly short work of her. So I vassalized her as well. So then I healed up my guys, and I moved the whole fleet over here to Polynesia. And so he'd been at peace for a while, and he'd had quite a few units, so sort of nuked my way into Honolulu here. I captured this city outright, and then I sort of detonated some strategic nukes, not like right on the city, but sort of where it did the most damage to the units at the city. I did that a couple of times, but it was a little bit tedious, I have to say. And anyhow, so he capitulated as well, and then it was just Askia left, right? And Askia sort of fairly tucked away down here. And he had this bloody annoying city, so I had a fleet here, which I had upgraded. I moved it over, but he had a shit ton of units. He had like 6 zeros in here. He was using guided missiles and all sorts of things. Which also brings me to the second bug. I think it's a bug anyhow. Because I quite like the idea of the guided missiles, so I bought quite a few and put them into my missile cruisers. But whenever I attacked one of Askia's ships, it just didn't do any damage at all. It's sort of, I lost a guided missile and it didn't do anything, so I don't know if that is a thing that's been addressed for the latest versions or not. But it was pretty annoying at the time. So, so what I did then, I brought my whole fleet down this way, and Aska's fleet was here as well, and he had like, not lying, 30 ships at least. So eventually, sort of for a mixture of my promotions and sort of retreating and moving in again, so we sort of got done eventually. Brought my rocket artillery here, and they had like a range and logistics, so I used them as well. And then we got ourselves more nukes and did the same thing again, some strategic detonations here, so took that city first and then sort of this one by default. Moved in, captured his capital, and then that brings me to another bug, because I was pretty sure it had been fixed that if you vassalize somebody and he controls the last capital, then you actually win the game. That unfortunately was not the case here, because just last turn, in fact, he capitulated and I accepted, thinking I'd won the game. And then it just started the next turn and it didn't happen, so I had to reload and stay at war. And Beijing is here. It's actually not terribly far away, but there's it's the bloody annoying minefields which have been really setting me back this whole bloody game. Especially here, it's just really awful. So I brought a general over here. He's got a 2-tile radius, so he could get those 2 tiles, importantly. And then I would be able to use my units more efficiently. But that's not gonna happen, I'll show you why in a minute. So... yeah. This must only be the 2nd or 3rd time ever that I built sort of aircraft carriers since I've been playing VoxPopuli. I needed them to have sort of fighter jets and Zeros and things to intercept all these heavy bombers, which was sort of wreaking havoc here with my ships. So, something else that didn't work. Not quite sure what it was. Oh yeah. And then the final thing that's really strange is the situation with the Incans here, who are my vassal. So when I vassalized them, they were like 14 ticks ahead of me. I don't even know how they got so far ahead. When I captured the capital, they were like 3 ticks ahead, maybe 4, I don't know. And then, so pretty soon, they got to 80. And to 82 now, anyhow. So, I thought, since they didn't build any spaceship parts, it wasn't a thing. Then they suddenly started, that they only started about 5 or 6 turns ago. And they could have started much earlier, so I don't know why they didn't do it. I first thought that a vassal was sort of prohibited from winning a culture or a science victory. But it doesn't seem to be the case. He's certainly building the spaceship parts, and also he could have long time ago built the Citizen Earth protocol, which he also didn't do. So now I'm thinking that's also slightly bugged, right? Either he's prohibited from doing it, or he should be doing it. So I'm not entirely sure which it is. So that is the situation, and it was the god-awful slog it was today. I seriously wished I'd sort of stuck to my decision yesterday. Just giving up the game. So I spent the whole afternoon playing. I played some this morning, and it was just really tedious moving units forever about here, and it's just building new ones and losing so many and killing so many. It's just been really boring. It's sort of the part of the game which I don't enjoy at all. So this is the last turn, and I was just beginning to think that sort of the victory is sort of in reach. We got another nuclear missile, which I was gonna detonate, I think here. And I did that, I mean, I reloaded the last time, just to show you guys the end of the game. So I did that here, and yeah, he got intercepted again. So that is obviously very unfortunate. So pretty much finished the turn. Yeah, all this fallout is crazy. I can't even keep my units here properly. I had to move them all away from there. So then, we got here. So then the final thing that happened is I pressed next. Probably lost some more units here. I have my subs pretty exposed up here. Didn't sort of care about it. And that's about the 6th or 7th nuke that the Incans scored. And then the Incans got their revenge and built the Citizen Earth Protocol. Very, very strange.
You have been defeated.
But that is the end of the game.
Overwhelmed by its many foes.
And just to
People do not despair, for they know that one day you shall
just do a
return
replay here.
and lead them forward to victory.
So this is our starting location here. And I was actually quite pleased with it. We had plenty of space here. Only problem was Attila over here. And we had a skirmish and we actually did really well, I think, to secure the wonder up here. And there was like a strategic river up here. So we settled our cities and then the skirmishes began, and then the Incans forward settled us, attacked us even. So I switched allegiances, became friendly with them, unfriendly with Theodoro. And then, sort of eventually, we vassalized Attila. Sometime later also Germany, but they got liberated in the World Congress vote, and so then eventually had to do it the hard way. So that's us up there. Still doesn't look like we're winning, but sort of happening slowly now. That's Cusco here. That's Constantinople, Honolulu. Then yeah, we took Gao here. And then the game is over. So yeah, I really don't understand how the AI decided to play this. I mean, he could have built that Citizen Earth protocol like ages and ages and ages ago. I mean, that's his new capital. After I captured this one and then Tiwanaku. And he's been dominant culturally for like, I don't know how many turns. 30 at least, maybe more. So he could have built that much, much earlier. Sort of also throws up the question whether he should be able to get the culture of Sans victory if he's a vassal. I don't know if there's ever been a poll on the Cybernetics forum or not, I don't know. Certainly a little bit pissed about it. I'm more pissed than anything that I spent the whole fucking day playing this. And then sort of quite near the end, I didn't get to it. Because of another thing is, because I was pretty sure that was meant to have been fixed. So I got all the capitals. So the moment I vassalize him, I should get this one by default and win the game. Fortunately, that didn't happen. So that's several things that didn't work in this game. When the religious stuff I knew about, that's been fixed for with the versions 2 plus. The guided missiles were a bug. The peace treaty also. And then this sort of domination business. There was something else, I can't remember what it was. And I don't want to have a go at this at the team and the programmers or anything like that. There's always a few things which are sort of slightly bugged, and then eventually they take care of it, right? So anyhow, so that is that, my Holland game. Started off pretty badly, recovered, and then what I did fairly well until sort of two things happened. The World Congress, where I lost my vassals and I got sanctioned. And then I captured Cusco, and then after that, I'm not sure how it happened, he sort of accelerated away in science. I really don't know how he did it. Progress, artistry, rationalism. Then he went autocracy, strangely enough. And he had pretty good terrain for his unique stuff, I guess. Apart from the capital, which was way up there. Also surprised that he built like 7 wonders in here, did he? He did build 7 wonders in there. And only 2 in Cusco. Maybe that's how it's done. It's got a manufactory there. Another one. Stuff, he got nuked quite a bit. I wonder if that sort of distracted him from building the Citizen Earth protocol earlier, or the spaceship parts. Then again, he was like, he's in 72 now, but he was like consistently more than 10 ticks ahead of Askia. He had those guys running around for the longest time, you know? XCOM squad and all sorts. I don't know why he should have lost that city here. And even up here he's sort of getting thrashed. Is Askia that strong? And he's got 15 cities, so I was 17 before. I took those 2 down here. 3 even. So he had 18 cities before. Meaning a shit ton of units, and he said authority, fealty, imperialism. Fealty, imperialism. And also autocracy. So what did they have done here anyhow? Here, a pretty good starting location. Gao is here, so he could put those cities here without a neighbor. That one there. Timbuktu, and then he spread out over to this little, or large island, I should say. Capture the city-state. And he's usually quite peaceful up here. So then him in the Incans, they sort of declared war on China between them. They had an awful starting location. Look at that here. Beijing on this narrow strip here, and then Shanghai, Nanjing settled over there. That sort of probably sealed his fate. Guangzhou is down here. That looks reasonable enough. Something else bugged about the zone control. In some unit. Can't remember which it was. Well, that's how it went. Sort of a bit disappointed. I meant to play a peaceful game and use my missionaries to get influence with the city-states for the luxuries and get tons of culture. And I did some of that. Certainly in the late early games, I was buying all the luxuries I could. With that Pantheon, which I'm not too fussy about, it gave me 2 culture from councils. I said I'm not too fussy on it, it's quite strong early. So I should have had plenty of culture, but I was sort of struggling. Finished progress alright, and then I went into fealty. Needed some happiness and also wanted to get the signs from the opener, and then I got mosques. I didn't get much further than that. This one here. And then because I was forever getting attacked, I switched to authority and I took those 2 first. And then I went into imperialism, and to be honest, I'm not too fussed about that at all. I mean, +1 movement, it's fine, but it's not spectacular. This one isn't bad. And this one is sort of reasonable. If you haven't got a lot of coastal cities and are not working many ocean towns, sort of not great. This one is average. It's quite a few of them where the last 2 aren't that good. Same here. Just my opinion also here. So, still reckon rationalism is pretty strong. I mean, those 2, this one is insanely good. Science, and this one, it's not bad. So anyhow, I guess I could have done better in many ways, and I enjoyed most of the game. Yesterday, last night was a bit maddening, and today it was just really, really awful. It was the sort of afternoon you play and then you don't want to touch the game for a month or so. So anyhow, I want to thank you guys for watching the series, and I hope you enjoyed it just a little bit. And I wish you all the best. Until next time, bye bye.